Good morning, students. I am Manikant Mishra, Modern English School, New Area. So far we have discussed about the laws of chemical combination. And when we talk about the laws of chemical combination, I mean to say that law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. But there was really a problem before the scientist to give a further explanation about the laws of chemical combination. A British chemist, John Dalton, tries to explain about the laws of chemical combination. So he described about the nature of matter. As we have talked in the first day of this chapter in the introduction part, as I said, the Greek philosopher Democritus used the word, the ultimate smallest particle is an atom. So Dalton also made use of this term atom. It means he also focused on the divisibility of matter. If you remember, I made use the Greek philosopher or Indian sage Maharshi Kanad. They were given the idea based on the philosophical consideration. Now, on the context of science, Dalton tries to explain about the nature of matter in the scientific context. So he made use of the word atom, and he tries to explain about the law of conservation. So his theory is basically based on the laws of chemical combination. It means law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. So in this regard, which is popularly known as Dalton's atomic theory. So he said, so either a compound, element or a mixture, all these are made up of atoms. All these are made up of atoms. Atoms are indivisible and indestructible, made up of tiny particles called atom, which takes part in a chemical reaction. During the chemical reaction, atom do not lose its identity. During chemical change or chemical reaction, atom do not lose its identity. Next, atoms of the same element are identical in all respect. Their mass, their chemical properties will remain same. It means all the hydrogen present in this in the nature remains same. All the oxygen present in the nature remains same. All the chlorine present in the nature remains same. Next, atoms of the different element are different in all respect. It means atoms of the different element will have the different mass, different chemical properties. Atoms of the same element or different element combine in a simple whole ratio to form compound. Atoms of the same or different element combine in a simple whole ratio to form compound, like a hydrogen react with oxygen forms water. Here, what happens here? What is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen? 2:1. Carbon reacts with oxygen, forms carbon dioxide. What is the ratio of carbon and oxygen? 1:2. One atom of carbon combined with 2 atoms of oxygen. So what is the ratio? 1:2. Now next, the relative number and kinds of atoms. The relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. What does it mean? Like as I said, water. So 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So it is always fixed. That is water. It has been talked in the law of constant proportion. Carbon dioxide, 1 atom of carbon and 2 atom of oxygen. It is always fixed. So relative number and kinds of atoms are always fixed in a given compound. So this is about the Dalton's atomic theory. Thank you. Have a nice day.